Guys, welcome back to the channel. As always, I appreciate your attention. Listen, we're switching it up. Let us know what you think about the new format of lessons, how-to videos, from me to you. I'm gonna be breaking these things down on the whiteboard. Today, we're gonna talk about something I get asked about that I'm very passionate about, which is real estate, specifically Section 8 real estate. So that is today's subject. What I would like for you to do though, as you watch the video, think, what else could Eric teach me? What else would I want to learn from Eric Spofford? And leave that in the comments. I will be reading the comments and taking those ideas and bringing them to life right here on the whiteboard. This is everything from real estate to personal development to business to life, whatever it is. You want to do real estate deals, you want to grow and scale a business, you want to sell it, or you need advice dealing with your baby mama, your boy got you. Get out of here. It's crazy. Listen, Section 8. Why Section 8? First, you need to understand some history in real estate because history really brings us to this opportunity. Historically, you have interest rates and you have real estate prices, right? And so you look at, as we come through COVID, what happens? Real estate prices go up, remember? And then things stable out. And then in 2022, interest rates start to go up and then start to skyrocket. And so what's happened here is you need to understand the structure of a deal. And so let's say we're buying this building, right? This is a building. And we're going to buy this building for $1 million. We're going to have to put 25% down, which is $250,000, $250K. Follow? Now, the 75% is debt and the cost. How does this break down on cost? Listen, when we were borrowing money at 2.75% interest rate, it was what? Cheap. And so this drops down and it makes a rent payment. This rent payment goes to pay expenses plus debt service. Debt service is a fancy way of saying it pays the mortgage on this 75%, which in this case would be $750K. Right? And so when you bought this building prior to interest rates going up, you're paying all the expenses and you're paying the cost of capital. Paying down the mortgage, paying the interest rate on the mortgage is called the cost of capital. And it's very cheap. But when interest rates go up, the cost of capital also goes up, obviously. What happens then? It eats up the goodness of the deal. In this situation, we'll call this 2021, in this very 2021 situation, you have the ability to go out and buy multifamily real estate, single-family real estate, industrial and commercial real estate, and get what's called a cash-on-cash return, AKA cash flow. What's not to love? How do you not win? This is great, but what happens? In 2022, interest rates skyrocket. And because the cost of capital comes up, here's the interesting thing, folks, and really understand this is economics. For the first time in my understanding of American real estate, typically when interest rates come up, what happens to real estate prices? They come down. This is the first time that I'm aware of in American history that real estate prices went up, interest rates came up, and real estate prices haven't moved because there's a lack of availability of inventory, right? There's still scarcity of inventory. So real estate prices held, interest rates come down. If real estate prices come down, well, then we're buying it for cheaper. It offsets the cost of capital. The deal still cash flows. In today's market, in the last couple of years, they're looking at buying real estate that does not cash flow. It's only for appreciation, meaning that it's going to be worth more over time. I don't know about you, but my reaction is that. How does that make sense? I want to put my money into something, into real estate, and I'm not going to make any money. All right, let's start this board over. Listen, Section 8, this is what everyone wants to know about. Why Section 8, right? It's guaranteed by the government, right? Why is that beneficial? You're like, oh, it's guaranteed by the government. All right, whatever. Two main reasons. One, if anything crazy happens in the world again, like COVID, right? COVID, they actually put out a moratorium and told everyone they could stop paying their rent. What about the landlords? What about the guy who owns the building, right? That's crazy. You know who got paid all through that pandemic? Section 8 landlords, boom, money in the account. The second is that you don't have to deal with the tenants for payments, right? This covers up to 100% of their rent, or almost 100% when it's subsidized and the tenant owns a very small portion of the rent. Guys, I've been in the real estate game for a very long time. The stories you will hear of why people can't pay their rent, partially pay their rent, why they're late for their rent, will drive you crazy. You're like, hold on. I put money down on this building. I have a mortgage to pay. I have to manage the building. I have to do all this stuff. And you have the audacity to not pay your rent or come up short on your rent. This money comes directly to my bank account. The tenant never touches it. They never even see it, from Uncle Sam to old Eric Spofford, right? Little zapperoo at the beginning of the month, right in the account, shows up, no excuses, no BS. The government never calls me. Section 8, the housing authority, never calls and says, Eric, listen, this situation in my life, me and my boyfriend broke up, my dog needed to go to the vet and it needed this. You're never gonna believe what happened to Fluffy. They needed to go to the vet. We had to get this surgery and I had to spend all my money on it. And so the government doesn't do that, guys. I don't listen to any of those stories anymore. Guys, the other reason is higher than market rents. This is why it makes money, because where you have a home that will pay you, you could rent for $900 or $1,000, Section 8 might give you $1,300 or $1,500. Why do they do that? Because they have an inspection process and paperwork and all sorts of stuff, nuance that you have to understand and you have to be, somewhat good at to participate in the program. And they know that that's a pain in the butt. And so they know they need to be competitive. So if we're going to ask you to do these kind of additional steps, right, this red tape, this paperwork, why are you going to do that? When housing is low already in America, why would you sign up for that? Because we're going to incentivize you. We're going to pay you more. We will pay you more than you can make elsewhere. It is in the difference between market rate rents and the published fair market rent of the Section 8 program that the additional money that they spend is how this becomes such a lucrative cash flowing opportunity. So it's guaranteed by the government. They pay more than market rents, and so this thing just prints money. That's why. Here's the other reasons that I love it, is that we do it in a single family home model. Meaning that I'm not doing this in apartment buildings, I'm doing them in single families. So two reasons that I love that. One is that anyone can do it. That's why I started teaching other people to do it. You don't see me out here teaching how to do multifamily at scale, which I've done. Teaching how to build mixed-use developments out of the ground, which I've done plenty of it. You don't see me teaching commercial real estate. You don't see me teaching land development and all these other verticals of real estate that I know, that I have done millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in deals in. You don't see me teaching that. Why? Because it's like teaching someone who barely knows math calculus and advanced algebra. It's going to go over the heads of 99.999% of people that would ever even try to attempt to listen to that. It's a sophisticated level of experience, a high level of risk, and something that most people would not be successful at. I can teach anyone to do this. I can teach your grandma on fixed income how to do Section 8 in a single family home. I could teach your college student how to do this. I could teach anyone, if you have 4 functioning brain cells that speak to each other, I could teach you how to succeed in Section 8 real estate. Absolutely anyone could do it. That's why I have an online education program that does exactly that. If you're not in it, you'd like to know more about it, there's probably a link in the description here on how you can get into that online education program and teach you how to do this. We also, quick sales pitch, have a done-for-you turnkey program where we will go put these investment properties together and hand them over to you for you. So anywho, it's very simple, but that's not only it. It's highly liquid. Guys, let me ask you a question. If I own an apartment complex with 100 apartments and say I want to loosen up some money for a different opportunity, can I go sell 15 apartments? Can I go sell 15% of my apartment building? No, I can't. But Because these are all single family homes. If I have a 100-unit portfolio and something comes along, I don't know, life happens, Fluffy gets hit by a car and needs multiple surgeries, and I gotta come up with some cash quick, I could sell one, I could sell 10, I could sell half of them, and that's what I mean by it's highly liquid. It's also very low risk. You're like, oh, what's the risk? You're buying a house. You know what happens if you don't like it? I got a secret for you guys. You wanna know what you do? Sell it. Sell the damn house. It's backed by a hard asset. Dumb. And so it's unbelievably low risk. And so this is Section 8. This is why it wins. Guys, my last talk track, if you want more information on how to do this, the exact strategy, we'll teach you where to buy, how to onboard, all the Section 8 stuff, all the nuance. There's a little bit to it, but I assure you I can teach absolutely anyone how to do it. The next thing that I want to teach you all about is what it means to be financially free. This is my goal. I got some goals for the different stuff, a different type of people that I teach. Like on my addiction treatment stuff with the families and the addicts and the alcoholics, I want everybody in recovery. I want them to be living happy, healthy lives. I want them to reclaim their lives. I want their loved ones in recovery. On my businesses, on my entrepreneurs, where I coach a lot of entrepreneurs, I want my entrepreneurs to be making money in a growing business and be, growing in top line, meaning how much money they're making, and bottom line is how much money they're keeping, their profit. But I also want them to be reverse engineering themselves out of the business. This is what I help a lot of people with systems and processes to stop trading time for money. It's a pretty good goal. If you're, if you're an addict or alcoholic or loved one, we want to get you well, get you back to life. If you're an entrepreneur, we want you to make more money and have lifestyle so you're not a slave to this business, right? For my real estate folks, that's the other thing I really spend a lot of time teaching. What do I want from you? What do I want? What's my goal? What makes me happy? What tickles me pink? It's financial freedom. Guys, pay attention. I don't mean Lambos, yachts, mansions, Richard Milles, all the expensive stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you have what's called a burn rate. You have what's called a burn rate. Burn rate is your cost to live. Here's the thing. If you have earned income and the earned income pays your burn rate. So this means that you have to get up. You have to put your jeans on, put your pants on, go to work. You gotta make money. You gotta make that money, and then that money pays your burn rate. What's in the burn rate? That's your rent, that's your car payment, that's your health insurance, that's your groceries, that's your clothes. That's like stuff you need to live, guys. So I'm talking about, it's not about Lambos and yachts. I hope you do, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what it costs to live. Do you understand how stressful it is on most American people that they have to get up and go get this in order to pay for that? They have to. They don't have a choice. Do you know what that does for our stress response as a collective nation and community? Do you understand what that does for anxiety, for depression? Do you understand? You live in a constant state of stress response with pressure of the world on you. If you're stuck in this, like most people are, almost all, very few make it out, do you know what it makes you? It makes you a slave. It means you don't, he said the word slave. Yeah, you know what that means? You don't have any choices. You don't have any choices in your life. You have to get up and do this. What happens if you don't? What happens if you were just like, you know what, today's the day. You, boss, I'm out, I quit, I'm done. How many days, weeks, or months do you have until you're like, I gotta pay the bills, I gotta buy some food, I gotta pay that rent, right? How much do you have? How much gas in the tank do you have to cover this for how long? You are a freaking slave. So when I say financial freedom, what I mean is passive income that covers your burn rate. Now, you could still obviously have earned income. It's obviously going to have a job. The move here is you go get earned income, you stack your chips, you don't spend it on lifestyle, and then you come in and you get some hard assets that produce passive income. And over time, you add a little bit, you add a little bit, you add a little bit, and all of a sudden, your passive income gets to a place where it's paying your burn rate. Here's a proposition for you. If you had enough assets that had money coming in, totally free of your time and effort, you didn't have to do break your legs, go get sick, go fall in love, get distracted, do whatever you want to do. But if it paid for your life, if you knew the mortgage is paid, the light bill is paid, the food is on the table, all of that, you knew that that was all set, no matter what happened in your life, how much stress would that relieve? How free would you feel? That's what I'm talking about. That's why I love real estate. That's why I love the Section 8 opportunity, because I can teach anyone to do it, and it is a direct, viable path to getting to this financial freedom through having passive income backed by hard assets and real estate with rents guaranteed by the United States government. I don't know what else to tell you. I love you. Thanks for the attention. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Leave me a like. Leave me a comment. Tell me what else I could teach you about in the comments, and we'll run it up. Bless.